Are you ready to take over the world, Susan?
Taking over the world always reminds me of the colonial period in America, Gloria.
I remember my colonial days. All the classes on world domination, making public officials do your personal bidding, baking cookies in home economics for conquering heroes.
Colonial period, not college. The American colonial period was a time when the US as we know it was divided between the three major world empires at the time, British, French, and Spanish.
Why would humans try to colonize their own world? Didn't they have that Colonization for Dummies book series?
You know what they say about humans. Ha 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 ha!
Yes. Hectares, 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 hectares. That was a good one, Susan.
The humans were concerned with three things in the colonial period: glory, gold, and God. Not always in that order.
Glory, gold, and God? What do you mean by those?
Well, Gloria. Early explorers came to America with the idea that discovering things no one else had would make the famous forever.
Famous forever would be glory, right?
Correct. My little continent conqueror. Early explorers were also under the impression that there was lots of gold in the New World. This is mostly true because Columbus told lots of stories about how much gold he saw there. But really there wasn't as much as they thought.
This Columbus guy sounds awesome. Tell the people what they want to hear and then you can conquer them.
Yes, but the king and queen eventually figured out that there wasn't as much as Columbus reported, and he was never allowed to take the boats out for a spin on Friday night ever again. The last reason that early explorers came to the New World was for God.
Who is God?
God is our homeboy.
Oh, yeah. I like his work. But, how does God factor into the conquest of the Americas?
For many years before the massive colonization of America, there were Franciscan priests and missionaries in the Americas bringing religion. The idea was that they were growing the kingdom. So, in a sense, America was a Christian nation long before it was America. Kingdom with the capital K, because most of the early explorers were from countries that were also kingdoms with lowercase k's. So, many of the early explorers/writers would flatter the king of the country by comparing him the big king, God.
So, when they talk about building up the kingdom, they are really meaning it in two ways?
That is correct. Often people of low morals would do things for the good of the kingdom, when really they were just greedy. Many humans throughout history have tried to do things in Jesus' name. This didn't make it right, of course, and most of the time it was not what God would want. In fact, we'll see, at least in the case of Cowhead, how talking about growing the kingdom backfired on him.
You're going to cast moral judgments when you're about to take over their world, one refrigerator at a time.
So, literature of the colonial period can be summed up in three ways: written for glory, gold, and God. Not always in that order, and not always with the best of intentions. Do you have any questions?
Just one. If the door is closed, how come the light is still on in here?
Sorry, that's my fault. I'm 2/3 lightning insect. After we take over this refrigerator, let's go dancing.
That sounds like an amazing idea. For the win.